in association of Reginald's Reg 31 and Safer Trading Solution. It's your boy Nando. I'm here with Jermaine. I'm here with the controversial Tyrone. I'm here with Chiz in the building. But we got a special guest tonight. We got Rico from Reekz Boxing.
What's up, guys? You good?
All good, bro. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
For our fans that follow us on our YouTube channel, they would have seen that we've actually interviewed you before.
Yeah.
But for the listeners that don't know who you are, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Rico?
Okay, so I'm Rico from Reekz Boxing, which is a boxing channel that I started up. Main goals is to promote amateur boxing, grassroots boxing, obviously promote the professional scene as well, but the main thing is grassroots because there isn't a lot of coverage in grassroots boxing. So yeah, I still currently box myself, so I'm within the circle. So I understand what everyone's going through at the moment, trying to promote themselves. A lot of people are getting ready to turn over pro, so it's a good way to build their profile before they turn over. That's good.
I want to get straight into it, boys. Obviously the big news that's been hitting the headlines in boxing, Dillian Whyte, Brixton's very own Dillian Whyte, failing the drug test straight after the Oscar Rivas fight. But it's crazy. It's basically the story coming out that him and Oscar Rivas got tested before the fight, they got cleared to fight, and then all of a sudden this news that he failed the fight, but the fight still went on. Jermaine, what's your thought on this? What's going on?
I'm thinking is it time to do with WBC? I don't know if it's some sort of conspiracy that, that for me, I know a lot of money being put into that fight, but if they fail a drug test, why didn't they call the fight off? So both, you know that Dillian Whyte's failed a drug test, but you're still letting them fight. And it's just a coincidence that this is all happening, and Deontay Wilder's over here right now.
In Brixton.
Yeah, and not just that, it's just like, it seems like every time Dillian Whyte gets steps closer to maybe get a title shot, gets taken away from him in a way that last year you had him win a fight against Lucas Brown, and he won another fight after that, and then he's supposed to fight Wilder, and then it's Dominic Breazeau's mandatory for the title. So it's a bit, is it WBC, is it not?
Rico, what do you think? Because it's crazy that he went 600 days and still not as mandatory for the WBC, finally got his chance, and then all of a sudden all this story comes out. Do you think it's a coincidence, or?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a setup, really. I'm being a bit controversial here. I blame the WBC. I think they want Whyte nowhere near the belt. It's the prestigious belt, and they want like a big name.
Or an American.
Yeah, American and Mexican. But like, Whyte is from Jamaica, he's a ghetto London boy. Like, it's not really the persona that they want to carry their belt. So I feel that a lot of people thought that the Rivas fight, he may lose it. Rivas, really good amateur background. He beat Ruiz in the amateurs, Povetkin in the amateurs, unbeaten as a pro. And it was banana skin, which obviously Whyte came through. But even before the fight happened, there was talk, if he beats Rivas, he has to fight Fury. This is before like the Fury Wilder 2, which they're talking about in like around February times. But it was another hurdle for him to jump over. And if you remember at the weigh-in, or was it, I think it was the weigh-in, after the weigh-in, they interviewed Whyte, and he looked like really annoyed, like can't say what he said on air, but he was really upset when they were interviewing him, and he was thinking like, what's wrong with him? It's like maybe he caught wind of obviously what was going on behind the scenes. So
but he actually went in front of a panel, so that's what apparently has come out why he was so annoyed, because he actually had to go in a panel with one representative. Eddie Hearn wasn't even allowed in that panel, and they had to discuss what was found in this drug test, basically. So I don't blame the guy for being annoyed, because it's kind of like, what do I have to do to get a title shot?
Exactly.
But speaking of Fury, coming out today that Charles Martin in October?
Tyson Fury.
Yeah, Tyson Fury. Because they basically said because of this ESPN deal, they need an American to fight Tyson Fury, and what name than former IBF champion Charles Martin.
Well, to be fair, he did win the other day.
Yeah, but
No, like I said, it's a tune-up fight as well, so
yeah,
it's a fight in America as well against an American, so you can't really go wrong in terms of Fury. He's out boxing easily and schooling, to be honest.
yeah, of course.
There's no way of getting fit, getting sharper for the actual main fight, which is against Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, but let's talk about last week. We had a big weekend of fighting. So we just mentioned White, we mentioned the Rivas fight, but let's talk about Price and Allen.
That was a good fight.
I actually had Allen for that fight, and Jermaine live on air, he said Price, he got it right.
Price to win the fight, and he showed him why he's a seasoned vet. He absolutely schooled him, if you ask me. So yeah.
But there was rumours of a retirement from Allen, but now he's come out and said I'm coming back stronger than ever. But what's next for him? For me, I think he should fight Nathan Gorman. You know, both coming off a big loss. That's one way of coming back, I guess.
No, definitely. I don't know, I feel like the fame had got to Allen's head. He was almost thinking like, you know, he's done it all. Won a couple on the bounce, dropped Lucas Brown. It was kind of like, you know what, I'm the big shot, like I'm turning up, I'm going to win this fight. And I think, was it around 5-6? Price looked like he was spent. His energy was gone. He had his lead hand down low, and you're thinking, you don't do the shoulder roll, what are you doing? And yeah, he got his second win. Allen just didn't show no respect and just got beat up.
I actually want to see David Price fight Dubois now. I actually really want to see that. Or even Joe Joyce.
Yeah, there's fights now. I mean, he's back in the reckoning now. We always knew he had talent. It's just like maybe it's a confidence thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, the drugs thing, losing as well. There's 2 fights as well. So I think we always knew he had the talent, but now it's just kind of got him back in the reckoning. Hopefully now he can get another big fight. I think he deserves it. I like Dave Price. Really nice guy. So yeah, I think it's great for British boxing as well that we've got another British heavyweight to get back in these fights as well. Great fights.
I want to see him do well, but I think that fundamentally he's got stamina issues which he hasn't fixed.
And confidence.
Yeah, but the stamina issues are a big thing. It's like once he goes past 3-4 rounds, the amateur rounds, he just seems like he's got nothing left.
Yeah, I think he relies on his power to maybe blast people out in that 1 to 3 rounds. But obviously, you're in there with someone who's durable. It's going to be very hard to get them out. So he's going to have to trade, maybe win the points or stop them late. So yeah, I agree with that. But he does struggle with stamina issues. I think he was blown quite heavily as well during that fight as well. So I was surprised that
But let's see what kind of fights Eddie Hearn could give. It might be even on the undercard for AJ Ruiz. You never know, wherever that may be. But there was one fight in that card that Jermaine, you was looking forward to.
Yeah, it's a boxing match. They had a bit of beef. This fight was a Richard Riakpo v Chris Billingham-Smith. Reekz, what do you think of that?
Yeah, do you know, it was a good fight. Like, when you listen to the commentary, they seemed like they had it clear for Riakpo, but I wasn't so sure. I thought Smith, he done some good work. He was boxing in spurts. Like, when they're up close, he's getting his shots away. Obviously, the eye-catching shots are coming from Riakpo, but yeah, I thought it was a lot closer than they made it. For me, it could have gone either way.
I don't know. I have to say, Richard deserved that fight. Richard Riakpo deserved that fight. I think he landed the better shots, like you said. I think he was the aggressor. He came forward a bit more. He actually kind of just bullied him in a way. I think he had them on the ropes quite a lot of times. Just used his weight, got on top of him, and he kind of looked. I think Chris didn't really look like he wasn't. He looked a bit. Wow, like why? These guys actually on top of me. Like he's using his strengths, power, athleticism. I think he deserved to win that fight. He landed some good shots, good uppercuts as well. So I think he deserved to win that fight, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now they're saying that it's set up the grudge fight against Okoli. So that will be. I'm actually looking forward to that.
It might be horrible to watch then.
It might be horrible, but I like it. Listen, a lot of people might not like this, but I like the beef that comes into the press conference and the when they're face to face, you know, in front of each other at a table. Obviously, no table throwing, but I like that. But there's always respect, even at the end of the fight. You know, like whatever comes out of their mouth, they don't really mean it. There's always that mutual respect. Everyone is hoping that they come home safe to their family. Speaking of that, on behalf of Bells and Whistles, we would like to send our condolences to the family of Maxime Dadashev and tragically Hugo Santalian, 2 boxers that lost their lives in the space of 5 days. It's a tragedy in boxing. As people see that, there's always this trash talking, but it is a gentleman's game, and you always, no matter what comes out of your mouth and whatever action happens in the face-off and during the fight, you always will hope that you and your opponent come home safe to your family. So it's a massive tragedy in boxing. But moving on, guys, Chisora, knockout of the year?
Wow.
or is Wilder still winning that?
Boy, Chisora. For me, Chisora, because he done him worse than Wilder done him. It was brutal, because he looked like he was struggling in the first round to catch up with him, like the southpaw. Chisora likes to throw that overhand right.
Southpaws.
Yeah, it's because he loves that overhand right, and all you got to do is just turn out, you get away from the power punch. And I saw a video after of Dave Caldwell in the corner telling him, don't throw the overhand, throw it wider, but not too wide. And when he's caught him, obviously, is it Spilka? His name? He's got his hand up there and the punch has come round, it's hit him, and you've seen him, it's like he's froze for a second, and then he's put his hands up, and that was at the beginning of the end, man.
Yeah.
Another 3 punches, that last one, it was so brutal.
Yeah, the last one got. You actually see, I think it was maybe the second one, his eyes are completely gone. He's like, he's really back in the head, and then
kind of reminded me of Wilder Stavern a little bit.
That was a bit more messy.
That
they will be skating all over the place, to be honest. I can't really put that in the same category as that knockout. But yeah, I think it was a brutal knockout. I'm a big fan of Del Boy as well, so I'm glad he won that fight. Like I said, it's good for British boxing. You're going to get fighters out there, even if they're not going to be for world titles, they're going to be like big British domestic fights. And they're going to get a lot of fans up behind them, so I think it's great to see.
That could be Price Chisora.
You never know,
they're saying Parker on the undercard of AJ Ruiz. Quick prediction, guys. Chisora, Parker.
Parker for me, yeah.
Del Boy for me. Whenever you've actually doubted Del Boy, he's always come through, and he proved that against Tagham as well.
Yeah.
So, but before we take a break, just a quick. There was another 2 fights that were there on that weekend. Obviously, Pac-Man versus Furman. Furman got schooled.
I think it was a lot closer again. I think it was a lot closer than people are giving him credit for. Like, do you know what it's the phases of boxing where not a lot's happening. Furman's scoring. Like, like the jabs hitting him. Like the first maybe 3-4 rounds, Pacquiao. But I felt like middle rounds, Furman stepped up on him, hit him with some eye-catching shots where Pacquiao had to react to it. And I'm a big Pacquiao fan as well. But when I just thought Furman done a lot better than he's getting given credit for. Like, I thought it was close. Like the scorecards.
I suggest our listeners go on YouTube and put Furman dinosaur moves. that video is just too funny.
Actually viral now. Yeah. No, for me, it was a great fight. Don't get me wrong. I think the first 6 rounds Pacquiao won. To be honest, he landed the shots. He's coming forward, landing shots. He dropped him in the first round. I think he's a bit off balance when he dropped him, but for me, you can't. He's saying about he's got T-Rex arms. He had T-Rex arms to me when he dropped him. So it's a great shot. Kept coming forward, landed some great shots, uppercuts and stuff like that. And there's a shot in, I don't know what round it was, but he hit him with a body shot, and you see Furman wince. You see him wince. He actually took out his mouth guard, his gum shield. You could see him wince. I'm thinking, wow, what a shot. And I think from then he is thinking, nah, there's only one winner.
But they said Furman hit Pacquiao more times than anyone has in recent years.
Yeah, I think the first couple of rounds, I don't know how many. I think he threw about 50 something punches compared to like Pacquiao's at 20 something. I'm thinking, wow, but obviously it doesn't really mean nothing at the end. Because obviously Pacquiao went on to win the fight.
Stay tuned, guys. We're going to take a break now. We've got No Guidance by Chris Brown and Drake. But when we come back, we've got the controversial Tyrone back in the building with Chiz. And we're going to talk about some football news. Stay tuned. Back to the Bells and Whistles show. I'm your host, Nando. I'm here with Jermaine. And we're joined by Chiz and the controversial Tyrone. The truth teller. Guys, we've got some breaking news. Gareth Bale is poised to seal his exit from Real Madrid by signing a 3-year contract for Chinese Super League club Jiangsu Suning, who own Inter Milan, of course, is reported 1 million a week.
So that's 22 million euros. 22 million euros a year.
Well, you guys, Chiz, what do you think? I know you're one of those guys. You're against China. I am as well, especially when you're that good.
I think it's a waste of space. He's going there for the money. This is the only reason. There's no other reason to go to China. No disrespect to the Chinese football league, but come on now. You do much better. You could have gone. He could have gone back to Spurs. He could have gone into Milan.
He just didn't want a
challenge.
He didn't want to take a pay cut.
No, which is greedy.
Yeah,
100%.
But some of the rumours that come out that he didn't learn Spanish. He was more interested in golf and then sitting with teammates and having dinner. Obviously, it just didn't work out for him. Could have come back to England and just shown that he's one of the best players out there. But you're going to China, mate. You're dragging the family to China. You've got to learn Chinese now, which is not the hardest language to learn. And you're going to play in a dead league. Good luck to you, mate. Take your money and go. Don't want to hear from you again.
Tyrone, what do you think?
Well, I think what I'm gonna say now is a bit controversial, but for me, Bale, he's been done from time.
What do you mean?
Like for me, listen to what I'm saying.
As in done as a player, his ability.
No, not as ability. I think he's still got a great ability. I think he can score goals. He will outpace certain guys. But for me, he doesn't want to play football anymore. Like he's a very injury prone. I don't think he looks after himself too much. He's had offers to go elsewhere. Man United tried to bid for him before when he weren't really playing and had issues before. For me, he's not thinking straight. I think he's had enough of football. Honestly, I think he's had enough of football. Why else should you go China? If you're saying he's the best, he's one of the best in the world, you guys rate him like he's the best in the world, he's getting 600,000 a week at Real Madrid, blah, blah, blah. Okay, show how good you are. He's won everything for Real Madrid.
I disagree with that. I don't know that. For me, if you're going to get paid, he's at that stage now, he's won everything. He's won European Cups, 4 times now?
Yeah.
Won the La Ligas. He's won the Copa del Rey.
What do you mean? He's not the best player with the most amount of trophies. Look at Messi. Look at even Giggs back in the day.
He went to Spain with an objective here. It's to win trophies at Real Madrid, and he's completed that objective. Now he's at the age of 31. Now, he could still play in Europe. Don't get me wrong. He can still play in Europe, but he decided to go to China and make money. And that's why footballers are inclined now. It's a business that we talk about. You want to go and create retirement money for your family when you retire. So he's going to go over there, and for me, he won't stay in China long. He'll stay there for about 1 year, like people like Drogba did, like Nando did. Stay there for 1 year, make enough money, then maybe come back to Europe. And you can't say he's past it because he had a few injuries. But look at the games he's come off the bench. He's actually scored in those games. So you can't say he's past it.
Go tell Liverpool fans if he's past it since last year's final, and let's see what they say. But moving on, Jermaine, Arsenal fan. Obviously, you great signings, Caballos and Saliba. You happy?
Very happy. I'm a bit disappointed that Saliba can't play for us because that's where we lack. We're defensively weak at the moment. I think we need a centre back.
Koscielny leaving apparently.
Yeah, obviously Koscielny's been linked with 2 clubs from League One in French league. For me, we do need a centre back. Maybe an experienced centre back, someone who's not 18. But yeah, for me, he's supposed to be tipped to be a rising star. So. For me, football has no age. I think he needs to be playing now. If he's good enough, he needs to be playing for Arsenal. Simple as that. I'm happy with Saliba from Real Madrid. Fantastic player. I watched some videos of him. I seen him play in under 21s for Spain, which they won. Great on the ball, very strong compared to Suarez, who's that last year. Both footed as well, can shoot out of foot, and he's a great free kick taker as well. So I think it adds a bit of attacking impetus for our attack. I think he'd probably get a bit more assists for people like Bamiyang and Lacazette next season. So I'm very happy with that.
And the great news is, even though it is not a funny story, but at least we know that Kolasinac can defend. So, moving on. Sorry, man, I had to put that in. I'm sorry. Moving on, Chiz, Griezmann. This story is crazy, man. So Barcelona are trying to block this move.
Atletico Madrid, you mean?
I mean, sorry, Atletico Madrid.
Yeah. I said this in the group chat that they're going to try and get it done because if you've not paid the right money, how can you make a player sign? Or how can you agree that transfer? If there's a contract saying it's worth, was it 180 before a certain date?
Yeah.
And then they did it before the deadline, so and they got it for cheap, 108 million or so.
108, yeah.
So how does that work out?
It's crazy that he's come cheaper than João Felix.
But then how comes, because in Spain, if you want to put back someone's contract, you have to go to their FA and get the deal done. They will not between the two of them. You go to the FA and say, get this done. But if they must have seen his contract and said, okay, that's the right amount of money, pay it. So something dodgy is going on here.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, and then it's mad because if it gets blocked, imagine all those shirts that were sold.
It can't be possibly blocked. I don't think it will be blocked because he's played the game already. He's been announced. Like it would be so crazy if that actually happened and it was allowed to happen. Like it would be shambolic from the whole league, from the club, to both clubs really, because Atletico shouldn't have let him go in the first place and said, okay, Barcelona, take your pictures and sign him up and let him play. That's just it's bad on Atletico as well. So for me, I think what will happen is most likely they'll just get compensated, and that's it. A little slap on the wrist.
One person I think it might be good for is footballer is Neymar. So if that deal did get terminated, that leave them with funds to go and sign Neymar and without any disruption. So I think that money used, but I think Neymar is probably more well suited to Barcelona than Griezmann.
I'm going to say this now. I can see Neymar going Juventus. I'm going to say that right now. I've got this feeling. Dybala apparently is open. It says it on Sky Sports right now. He's open to go to Tottenham.
But I think Neymar's got his heart set on Barcelona.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's down to. He wants to go there.
Yeah, but
it's like Lukaku wants to go to Inter. That's the only club he wants to go for. So
it's the only club that wants it. So there's a difference.
Can he pay him as well?
There's a massive difference.
Another one, we'll talk about players having a heart set on joining a club. News came out today that Everton have put in a bid in for Zaha. What do you guys think of that? Obviously, 60 million they're saying. Is that trying to make Arsenal come back with another bid to sign him?
Well, it's funny because first it's come out that he only wants to play for Arsenal. He's a boy an Arsenal fan, he only wants for Arsenal. Now he's saying, oh, I'm happy to move back up to the northwest.
Yeah, but did he really say that?
Well, it's coming out from somewhere. It's come from somewhere.
I think it was
unless it comes out from his mouth, I'm not going to believe that.
But I think this is more. If he goes to Everton, it's a sidestep. It's not. It's gone up. It's a sidestep for him.
I don't think
it is a kind of a step up from Crystal Palace. Let's be honest, but it's not. What you've done for Palace for the last 2 seasons, you should be in a top 5 team. You should be. You should be either. Well, you can't even get in City's team. Let's be honest. You won't get in Liverpool's team, but you should be at one of them 2 teams. You should be in Tottenham, United, Chelsea, or Arsenal.
It doesn't score enough goals. It doesn't get enough assists for me. If you're going to if you're going to spend big money on someone like that, it needs to give you more goals and more assists.
But assist-wise, do you not think maybe he's just playing with dead strikers that can't even finish? Maybe if they could finish.
But even his chance conversion is not that high. So apart from the little step overs and the tricks, for me it doesn't do it for me. So I think goes to Arsenal, he will improve as a player, but I don't think he will improve Arsenal massively.
Yeah. Before we take a break, it's not going right for Barcelona at the moment. So their player Alina wore the number 21 last season. Without even telling this player, they gave his number 21 to Frankie de Jong. And he's just come out and said, I don't understand, the club should have just told me. I would have given it to him, but me turning up to the club and all of a sudden I've been given, and it says on the website I'm the new number 19 without even telling me, it's nuts. What do you guys think?
You know what, I think that's what Barcelona, they lack class. I've heard the stories before when they signed Alexander Hleb from Arsenal a couple of years ago. They send out a private jet or someone to come and pick you up from I don't know from the country you're coming from, or they send you like a Uber kind of thing, like to pick you up from the train station or something. And they just left him at the airport, and he had to make his own way there. And it kind of seemed the same. It kind of seems the same way that they're doing this man. It's kind of like, it's me, it's mugging him off, like as simple as that.
Yeah. Chiz, what do you think?
That's why when you pay the money for De Jong, you give whatever shirt number he wants.
Yeah, but to the player.
Yeah, but then look what Atletico Madrid did with João Felix. They gave him Griezmann's shirt.
Yeah, but Griezmann was leaving. This is a
but he wasn't confirmed. It still wasn't confirmed, was it?
I think it's disrespectful. You got to speak to the player, or at least his agent, and let him know what's going on. To do that could cause some conflict within the squad as well. So it's not really a good thing to do. So realistically, I think they just need to be more open with the players, especially like Coutinho as well. There's conflicting reports that they want to keep him, they don't want to keep him. So I think they just need to be more open with players and try to build a team, because at the moment it sounds like they're a bit divided.
Yeah. Bro, I expected the controversial
listen,
comment. I thought you was going to say something like they should have given Messi's number 10 to Frankie de Jong. But we'll be back, guys. More football, more football, and more boxing with Rico from Reekz Boxing in the studio. Check out our Instagram live. You'll see Tyrone's new hat. He looks like a traffic light. It's the new Originals collection. So we're back with Rico from Reekz Boxing.
Rico Dan.
Rico, if guys want to follow you on Instagram, what's your Instagram?
It's at Reekz, so REEKZ_boxing. Same with the YouTube without the underscore.
And Twitter?
Reekz_boxing. And the Facebook, Reekz Boxing.
So guys, I'm a boxer. Tell me something about this, because I didn't watch it.
Pretty close to home for me, because I know Mikhail. We used to train together down at the Hammersmith Boxing Club in the early days. There was a lot of fighters around at the time, and at one point a lot of fighters started leaving, and to fulfill his potential he left and went to join Stonebridge. And yeah, he's come on leaps and bounds, man. Some of the sparring that he's got, when I've bumped into him in Shepherd's Bush and talked about some of the stuff that he's doing, the respect that he's got within the industry from guys that he sparred. So he went in naturally as a favourite for the tournament. It was a free fight tournament?
Free fight tournament, yeah.
Yeah, like prize fighter type thing. And yeah, first fight, he was favourite to win that, dropped the guy in the first round. Thought he could have got him out there, but you know, he boxed smart, you don't want to get cut, don't want to get injured. Same thing again in the second round, dropped the guy early. Again, you've got to preserve yourself because you're thinking, I can go all out for the knockout, but then something could go wrong. So again, boxed his way through, and in the final, Jermaine, tell us about that knockout.
Yeah. Brutal, devastating knockout. When he hit him, I was like, wow.
They traded hooks.
Yeah, they tried the hooks, but there's only one winner when he landed that left hook.
Was it better than Chizora's?
No.
Okay.
Chizora's is brutal.
Yeah,
brutal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. I mean, shout out to everyone at Stonebridge Boxing Club as well. Ali and Tux. Fantastic. They all went out there to cheer their man on, and a great performance. Great to see. So congratulations to everyone at Stonebridge and Mikhail himself.
It's good, guys. One thing we left out the last time when we were talking about the boxing is Plant. What KO that he, this guy's a problem, you know. I'm telling you, there's a reason why them guys are avoiding this guy.
He's so slick.
He is.
So slick.
I really want to see him against Triple G. I really want to see that.
Yeah, but Triple G don't want to move up weight to fight nobody.
Yeah.
He never wanted to. Yeah, Saunders is the fight. They're both slick, both great amateurs, great fundamentals, good defense. It'll be a chess match, a real chess match.
I think he's going to probably fight the winner of Jermaine Benavides.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to be for the WBC. I think they can unify the division. So I think the winner of that one, I think he's probably got his eye on that. I think whoever comes out winner of that fight, I think he'll beat him anyway. He's just a different class compared to those two, to be honest.
So obviously we're speaking about that division. Canelo Alvarez had until today to say whether he wanted to fight Derevyanchenko for the IBF title or forfeit the title. And apparently the fight is very close to being done.
Right, middleweight, yeah.
I believe it's middleweight. What do you guys think? Easy win?
Yeah, Canelo too much skills. He's too good. He's too good for that. I don't like the fact that they've been talking about him fighting Kolev because he's a small middleweight. Yeah. Like, how are you going to move up to light heavy? Like, it's just I don't want to see it. I don't even want to see him fight Callum Smith. I think the size difference is too much.
I don't think he wants that small from Smith.
No. I don't want him to get that either.
But we got a big title fight, a few title fights this weekend. So we're going to start off with Hooker versus Ramirez for the unification WBO, WBC titles on the line.
Both undefeated.
Someone's always got to go. What do you think of that, Rico?
That's a tough one. Tough one. Yeah, I'm not too. It's a close one to call. I'm leaning more towards Hooker.
Yeah.
He's had a 4-fight fight streak where he's taken the guy's O's. So I feel like it's another guy whose O he's going to take. He's the O collector.
They're saying the winner might face Pacquiao. What do you think of that?
What? Are they going to move up weight or Pacquiao come catch weight?
I think catch weight.
Yeah. Pacquiao just needs to go, man. I don't want to see him lose again. He'll probably beat whoever he fights, but it's one of those ones where it's like, you've done it all now, man. There's no need, man.
I said this in last week's show. I think he can't get over the loss of Floyd, and he's just begging for this rematch to happen. But what's the point? You're going to lose again. And he's just a wounded animal that just can't get over. I think he should just fight Khan and just call it quits.
No, Khan don't deserve that, man. He don't deserve it at all.
There's a lot of boxers that don't deserve a title fight, but Khan's our version of Broner, so let's just see him get bashed up and then, you know. But there's another title fight, Farmer versus Granollers, so IBF junior lightweight title.
I don't know if you remember, I don't know how to say his name, Granollers, but he's the one that fought John Joe Carroll.
Yes.
Just before, remember they had the fight with Carroll, and then Carroll was meant to fight Farmer after. I think Carroll lost that fight, but because they had the whole big setup, the whole match room, big promotion, they gave him a blight. He should have rematched him straight away at least. But it's like, you know what? You go fight Farmer. Obviously, he lost to Farmer. Now it's like the guy who practically won the fight is now getting his chance to fight Farmer. So hopefully, you know, his head's still in the right place, because, like, you know, politics, man, it can knock your confidence.
So, Jermaine, what do you think of this fight? Do you think Farmer can easy win for him?
Farmer is easy win. It's boxing is never going to be easy. But I think he'll out boxing though. I think I'm a big fan of Tevin Farmer. He's been through a lot as well. And to come back and be a world champion is no easy feat. I think he outboxes him, and I think he goes on to. For me, he deserves a big fight. Gervonta Davis, I don't even know. I can't even. It's mad to say. You know, maybe even Lomachenko. This fight. It's mad. I'm not saying he's gonna win a fight, but I'm not saying he deserves that sort of fight. He's Gervonta Davis said to him, "Become a world champion, then we'll fight." He's become a world champion. Davis has gone down.
Sounds like Amir Khan.
Yeah. He needs a big fight. Obviously, we said that about Kell Brook fighting Triple G. Why is he fighting this guy? Give him the fight. I'm not saying he's going to win it, but give him the fight. He deserves it.
Speaking of Gervonta Davis, he's fighting as well, and he's defending his WBA title against Ricardo Nunes. Now they're saying he gets through this, Leo Santa Cruz is next.
Well, he's expected to beat this guy. I think this guy's only had like 21 fights. I'm sure he is. And it should be an easy win for him. Leo Santa Cruz, that's a tough one. He's so active. That's the thing. David's got the power, but just his Santa Cruz's punch output can overwhelm people, and I feel like Davis is not going to stand there and trade with him. So would it be smart, box on the back foot, but being a shorter fighter, shorter reach, he's going to have to get inside. So probably the power will tower in the end. I think Davis is special. As long as he makes weight, he's special.
Maybe I disagree, but I'll go for Santa Cruz, man.
I
think he's never fought anyone like that. Someone who's so slippery, so experienced, so all-rounded. Like he's made some fighters, the top fighters, look average. And I think he's been there long enough to know that he can deal with someone young like Davis. I think Davis probably get frustrated. He'll go in the ring and I think he'll make mistakes, or he'll be getting frustrated out of frustration. I think Santa Cruz wins that fight. That's another one people might say, wow, but for me,
That's a close one. As I said, the experience, the reach, the punch output. I just feel that maybe the power might tell in the end, man. Like Davis has got one punch, knockout power, and I feel that Santa Cruz will let him into the pocket because he loves the tear up. So that's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's interesting to see if both fighters can come through this weekend with Farmer and Davis. On paper they should, but you know, after the Ruiz AJ fight, just don't, you know.
And Farmer's opponent's experienced as well. He's had like 46 fights, lost one fight. Like he's no mug. So
Rico, last week, big fight which bells and whistles will be in the building on the 31st of August. Lomachenko versus Crowler.
Yeah,
sorry, Luke Campbell. Sorry, Luke Campbell.
He's ready to dispatch Crowler.
Sorry, my bad. Luke Campbell, my bad. Prediction?
Lomachenko, right? Yeah.
But is it going to be the same outcome as every other opponent, or is it going to be tougher and maybe on points, or is it just going to be like?
Nah, I think he's gonna beat him up. It won't. again, from the second round onwards, like once he's downloaded his computer, that's it. Like
robot just kicks in.
Yeah, I feel Campbell may fight on the back foot, try to keep it long, keep him away, try to survive. But as you say, you get frustrated when you're missing, you're getting hit, and it's not like he's hitting you with heavy shots. It's just constant.
Accurate as well.
Yeah.
One of the most accurate concerts I've seen in a long time.
Unreal.
Jermaine, what's next for Loma after this? Like, who really is good enough to beat him, in your opinion?
For me, no one could beat him that way. You ask me. I think he'll get through this fight.
Should he go up?
No. He's already said that. To be honest, like, there's still fights he can have at his weight. He can still fight Javante Davis still. Kevin Farmer, like I just said. But he's already said we will like go up and fight Spence. That's suicidal. That's suicidal. Like you don't call Spence the truth for nothing. So for me, he wouldn't take that fight. Like I said, I can't see no one beating him in his weight class. Simple as that. He's that good. I can't see anyone. He should have been undefeated. He should have the 0 still on his record.
Yeah. He got cheated that one.
Yeah. So for me, I can't see anyone beating him.
Rico, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm still upset that him and Mikey didn't fight.
It could still happen.
But I just think the beating that Mikey took is not going to be the same, man. That was a beating. Like, I don't feel the same for him no more after that. I'm thinking like he looked really average. Like he didn't seem like he had heart in that fight, and that was the worrying thing. He looked like he didn't want to put it all on the line.
He stayed on his feet, which I give him respect for.
Yeah, but that's what it seemed. It was almost like he didn't go for the win. He got to a point where he knew he's going to lose now, so just don't get knocked out. And I thought, nah, you got to go for it.
Brutal to watch. It was really brutal to watch. I thought for the guy, I was just waiting for someone to just throw in the towel.
Should have never happened. It was just crazy.
I could see holes. Nah.
You just saw paper. That's all you saw. Just made my paper, and that's it. But guys, that's all we have time for with the boxing side. So Rico, thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys. So it's been a long day and that. Thanks for having me.
But we're going to take a break and we're going to go back to football. The controversial Tyrone and Chiz are going to be back in the studio just after this break. Whistle Show, it's your boy Nando. I'm here with Jermaine and they're back, Tyrone and Chiz. So guys, obviously this international cup's been going on. Let's go through what's been going on recently. Ever since the tournament started. So obviously, I hate to say it, United beat Inter 1-0, you got lucky. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Lucky? Like next one then.
Alright, you outplayed us. We didn't have our full team, but anyway.
Got it on camera. Yeah? Cheers.
Okay. Wow. So Benfica 3-0 against Guadalajara. Arsenal, they've been doing really good. 3-0 against Fiorentina. And what else did Arsenal do? Oh, you drew against Real Madrid.
And lost on penalties.
You lost on penalties,
but
you
should have won that game.
You was 2-0 up.
We was 2-0 up. Typical Arsenal can't defend, but no, I think we dominated the game. I think we should have won a game 3-2 or 4-2, but in a friendly, it's not really about results, is it?
You beat Munich as well. Spurs beat Juventus. Crazy goal by Harry Kane from the halfway line.
Good goal.
I think before he was Rooney. So Bayern Munich been doing well. They beat AC Milan. Atletico Madrid 0-0, and then penalties. Crazy, and they had a decent team out as well. Juventus, Inter. I watched this game. Inter were literally all over them. Ronaldo scored, and then Gigi Buffon, 42 years old in goal, saving 3 penalties out of 6. The guy still got it. He's back. United beat Spurs 2-1, but it was a heated game, man. Heated game. Crazy tackles.
Spurs were nasty. I don't know why.
Crazy tackles.
I think they didn't like when United overplaying them, just running them off the pitch.
Yeah, that must have been it. Pochettino did come out and say sorry about the tackles and stuff, so that was good for Pochettino.
Staying on bad tackles, I don't know if you guys saw the Liverpool Sevilla game.
Wow, crazy.
I don't know what the young player's name was. He got actually hacked. By the Sevilla player. That's a disgrace, to be honest with me. I've seen the videos of obviously Van Dijk approaching him after the game with James Milner and Henderson.
To our men.
If you haven't seen the tackle, it's horrible.
It's no need.
He's still out injured, but it's a
the guy left on crutches, so it's bad, really bad. Man City legend Michael Richards retired today at the age of 31. I say legend.
Still played.
Legend what?
He won the title.
So. Come out of it, man.
Did Pogba win the title?
Pascal Sagan's one time.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. It's you're a club legend. It's the first title they ever won in their history. You're a legend in the club for winning that. God, you can't take that away from the
Well,
guy.
been used to.
Yeah, that's the reason. It's like the cat ringed it. Cool.
Come on, man.
Or would you say Balotelli's a legend for Man City then?
For winning the title, yeah. For winning the title, definitely you're a legend.
I've never heard Man City say his name recently.
Man City got the legends, man. Let's just move on from this.
Anyways, Chiz, there's a new goal kick rule. Do you want to tell us about that? I didn't get this. I saw the video. I just didn't understand it.
Basically, the current rule is that the ball has to leave the area before play is considered play on. But now they're saying the new rule is that as soon as the ball's put down, the defenders can go into the area, but the attacking players can't. But once the goalie's made a pass or attempted pass, it's play on. So attackers can run in the area and score.
That's mad.
It makes it more interesting. And if you do that, and apparently it's going to work for like Man City, Barcelona, Ajax, counter football, high press. It's going to be good for them. So I'm interested to see how many teams adopt it.
Sounds good. This cancer in football still continues. Racism. Kick It Out this week have reported that racist abuse rose by 43% last season in football. This brings another story that happened this week as well. So, a secret gay championship footballer who is unnamed, we don't know who it is, deleted his Twitter because he just said, "I'm just not ready to come out because of that 43% of racist abuse." And he's basically saying, if racism's still in there, homophobia is still in football, so why should I come out and get abused for it?
Apparently it's a hoax. Apparently it's not true. This account is apparently it just shut down.
No, it shut down because the guy couldn't take it and he didn't want someone to hack into it and find out
who it was. But apparently
you can hack into it.
I know, but apparently met Jim White from Sky Sports had an interview with him. But I don't know. I think.
But Jim White confirmed this?
Even on his Twitter account, that he was meeting someone.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it materialised, but
I think it's true. You know, there are people, there are footballers, there are athletes who just don't want to come out because of just stupidity of
yeah, no, I get that, but
it's a shame. It is a shame.
It's the same as racism. If you're gonna do it, then you should be like if you're in the crowd and you're giving racist abuse or you're giving homophobic abuse out, arrested and then named and shamed.
Yeah, I agree. Like the guy at Chelsea, I agree.
Yeah.
Named and shamed, and that's it.
Only if you're found guilty.
Only if you're found guilty,
Yeah.
of course.
I just think some players probably don't want to speak out while they're still playing because they feel that they're going to get abuse from terrorists every week, every time. Once they come out, they feel that they're going to be left alone in a way that they just be getting abused every single time they go step out on the football pitch. So there needs to probably be more protection towards.
But that's what I'm saying. If you clamp down on it straight away and said if you're going to do that sort of chanting, you're going to get named and shamed and get thrown out the club. As a supporter, we go to football games. We don't sit there and do that.
Do you think a ban is going to do anything for a fan? Some fans probably don't care. They probably don't go every week.
Yeah, but you lose your job. The Chelsea fan lost his job.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. If you name and shame, you lose everything.
As long as it's harsher punishments, then yeah. Because for me, getting banned from a team, if your team's not a great team and you do that every week, then it's not really a big loss, is it? So yeah, I think it needs to be harsher punishment for people who come out and
name and shame, and then look at the Chelsea guy, how much hassle he's got. He's lost his job. Apparently, his boy got beaten up. So name and shame these people. Let the people know.
But also, I think more athletes need to come out and say
Like big athletes, I think.
Yeah, big athletes.
Because I think only when the championship player.
I think only when it's big athletes, people take notice. Because what I've realised, no matter what big athletes do, they can't be, what's the word I'm looking for? They can't be wrong. They're not in the wrong. Even if they do something bad, they're not in the wrong because they're a big athlete. They score goals, they win trophies, they win medals, they win races, etc., etc. So for me, I think if you're a big athlete and you're gay or you're feeling like Sterling did, talked about being racially abused and things like this, people started taking note because he was playing so well, he's winning the league for Man City.
But he had a lot of support as well. That's
exactly. I think once more players start doing coming out, I think they'll get some more support and it will grow. And then you never know, you might see like a Ronaldo type style of player that comes out and he's gay, but people like him because he's winning so many trophies and scoring goals for their club and etc.
And it might push others to come out with a big name like that. I agree. A couple transfer news. United target Pepe has agreed terms with Napoli, 72 million euro. Do you know what? I haven't seen a lot of this player, but I have seen some clips and he looks really good. Is he worth the money, Chiz? I know no one is worth that.
Yeah, no, he's a good player. Obviously, he's quick. He's got skill. He can score goals.
Yeah.
I think he'll do well in Italy.
Yeah. Nando, why is he a Man United target?
You guys are well after him, yes or no?
Yeah.
We've been after every single player.
No, but he was a big target for you guys. He was.
I don't understand. I don't think for me personally, I don't see.
Is that because you think if he was really a target, you would have got him?
No, it's the fact that we've already got wingers. What we need is a centre back and a holding midfielder. We don't need a winger. We've already got tons of that. So for me, it didn't make sense.
Yeah, but
what can I just one sec? You got wingers.
Yeah.
Who's your wingers?
So we got James. We have Marshall that can play. We have.
Is he proven in the Premier League?
What did he do this to Spurs in the pre-season?
What the hell? Here we go. Controversial Tyrone in the back, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen, like you said, you go and you play what's in front of you. He played that game, he played well against a Premiership side. Do you know what I mean? You saying what wingers? Again, I'm telling you the wingers. We have Alexander Sanchez. When he plays, he will play all over.
Man.
Can I drink on that side?
We have Chong. Like we've got wingers that can play on the wing.
Okay. Let's move on to one thing. They're saying that if Lukaku leaves, you guys are going for Dembele from Lyon to play the false number 9. What do you think of that?
I know Jermaine's not a big fan of him, but I think he's alright. He scores goals. That's what you need.
Jermaine, this Tierney from Celtic, 50 million? Really? Mate, I'll go for Ryan Bertrand if I was you, man.
We won't go that far. You know what? If we pay 50 million, he ends up being as good as Robertson for Liverpool, and turns out being a top player, then 50 million is nothing really. You look at Wan-Bissaka. You may not pay 50 million. You don't know. In a couple of years, he could be 80 to 90 to 100 mil. So, like for me, the Arsenal, we have a problem with just putting bids in which will make clubs be like, you know what, we're going to accept that. We're going to think about it. If we really want a player, bid the price for the player. Don't be putting little small instalment bids like of 25 million and 30 million here, there. Just go in there and with a meaningful offer. That's what I want from Arsenal.
I think where Arsenal got wrong is this, same with Man United with this Champions League clause. Like, when the team say we don't believe we're going to get Champions League, don't come with that clause in their contract. You know it's bad.
Yeah, of course.
Like, that's really bad for Man United Arsenal. Not to team would have got the air back in the air, right? Whatever done. Now it's like, oh, no thanks.
You know what the thing is? Well, Arsenal here, we don't really spend a lot of money on players. So if we bid 50 million for a player, it's like I can't see it being a flop. I can't see it being a flop. We're not a club who make like United spend a lot of money on players or City spend a lot of players. So I think that's what Arsenal fans want. When we have to spend money on a big player, about 50-60 million, they all turn out to be good players for Arsenal. Look at Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wouldn't say about Ozil, but Ozil's in glimpses as well. So Sanchez as well. Sanchez we paid a lot of money for. So I think that's what we need. We need to actually show some intent and spend money on a player at that price.
Other transfer news, Roma have offered, it's so funny to even say this, 30 million plus Zeko for Icardi. That's, for a player that gets you 20 goals every season and had a buyout clause of 120 million, is being offered 30 million for this player. It's just ridiculous.
Hold on, but they're offering stupid money for Lukaku.
Yeah, but that's nothing to do with us. It's just if he has a clause in his contract which is 120 million.
Yeah. That's
the clause. Lukaku hasn't got a clause.
But is the clause that is in Italy? I mean, in Spain, where that's it. Wherever the buyout clause is, that's what you have to pay.
I have no idea. All I'm hearing is 30 million plus Zeko, and then the other one's 40 million from Juventus.
So the thing is, Inter have devalued the player so much. It's crazy.
How? He gets 20 goals every season.
No, you've said he's not in our plans. He's not a player that we want. So straight away, every single club knows.
He's not in our plans. Did you see what his wife did last season? No manager wants him. He causes trouble. He's like Diego Costa.
Okay, so now you just devalued him as well. Now it's like 20 million.
Yeah, but
he's not 30 million.
Minimum 60, man. Come
For
on.
me, he doesn't want to play for Inter Milan. Simple as
No,
that.
he doesn't.
Yeah, so just get rid of him.
It's come United, man. Come on.
Yeah, take the
He doesn't
loss.
want to.
Just take the loss.
What's staying in?
It would have happened. Right now, we offered to Arsenal him for Aubameyang. He said no to Arsenal. I don't want to go to Arsenal. He doesn't want to go to England. End of.
Madrid probably wants
No,
big club,
Juve or Napoli. That's it. And now Napoli that have signed Pepe, I'm scared he's going to go Juve now. And Dybala doesn't want to go to Inter.
Well, that'd be Italian wrapped around for 20 years, then, ain't it?
Guys, before we go, is Germany the new home for the UK talent? So we had Hudson Odoi that was linked, we had Zaha that was linked, and then we had the likes of Sancho, Nelson, Reece Oxford, Kevin Danso, Kalen Hinds, Ryan Kent, and now Lukman and Lewis Baker have gone there. So
Yeah, I think
a new place for talent to be spotted.
Yeah, I think they're giving the English players a chance, which this country should be doing from day one. Should be giving them a chance.
It's not a bad league, so I'm happy for the talent to go. And Padu's gone there now, so
You just know when they get in the 10 in 3 years time, they're going to go for double, triple
yeah,
money.
like Christensen did. He had to go there to prove himself. Went back to Chelsea. It's just, I think it's mad. Like they're saying now, Nelson might get loaned out again. What do you think?
I won't be surprised. I mean, well, we do sign Ozark, then I think we probably would be. I'm a bit disappointed by that because I think he's a good player along with Smith Rowe. No, but I think English players do need to go abroad. Like we've seen, obviously Trippier's gone abroad now as well. Young players, they want to play football. As simple as that.
Yeah.
And I said to Nando before that it's now Euros 2020 next year. Players want to play for England. Players want to play for their national side.
Yeah.
So there's no better chance than going abroad now, playing week in week out for the chance to be playing representing your country in a major tournament. So fair play to them.
Yeah, the only thing I would say, just make sure the clubs have a buyback clause. Don't do what Man United did with Pogba and they had to pay a crazy amount back.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Mate, Pogba is the biggest bump in Premiership history, mate. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Guys, that's all we got time for today. Check us out on our Instagram at Bells and Whistles Sport, on our Twitter, Bell Sport, on our Facebook, Bells and Whistles, and on our YouTube channel, where if you missed this show, you can watch it on our YouTube channel at Bells and Whistles Sport. Also our sponsors, Reginald's, Reg31, and Safer Training Solution. You can check out our social media and you can check these sponsors out. Reginald's, Tyrone, great hats coming out. We're wearing them in the studio. Check out our Instagram live. You can see them, and you can see his new light up hat. All on www.reginalds.com.
Cheers, thank you for that.
Guys, another announcement next week. Our show is going to be 2 hours, so stay tuned. We've got a lot to talk about, and Tyrone is back.
Yeah, Rich.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much.